the PSD, so the full resolution file again. And if I wanted to change the color of this background, now this is a very simple background, but this trick will work even if there's a bunch of stuff in the background. What I can do, let's see, there's most of the information is on this background copy, right? In layers world, background is the entire picture. So I'm going to make sure this is highlighted, not burn and dodge, not retouching, but background copy. So that has most of my information. I'm doing that because I want to make a selection. I want to select my subject. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. On PC, it's going to look like a box, right? But you can always do the little drop-down arrow. And quick selection tool is what we're looking for. And that will open up Select Subject. If I hit Select Subject, Photoshop is going to do its best to find the main subject. So it did a pretty good job. Right? This is an easy selection because there's nothing in the background. If you had trees and other stuff in the background, it's going to miss a little bit. But regardless, I want to hit, after this process, I want to hit Select and Mask. And the view mode might be in onion skin or marching ants. I like overlay mode. And I can pick whatever color to overlay. And I can choose how opaque it is. Now look how, see here in the corner? Let's go. It missed a little bit here. So it's nice that we have this opacity slider. So because it missed some, I have to go to the brush and selection tools, not the top one, not the second one, but the middle one. That's the brush I can fully control manually. Hit the plus key. And if I right click, I can see, yeah, I want this to be a hard brush because I don't want it to be fuzzy. I want that edge to be really hard. So I can do this. And if I make a mistake and go over, whoops, I just change to the minus and brush back. Go back to plus, and I just got to work my way around this slowly. This is tedious, but it's important. Getting good at selections, it takes a long time to get good at it, but getting good at selections is going to open up so much in Photoshop world. Because what you can do is you can select and mask. Okay, selection is what any adjustments will be applied to. Masking means it's like masking tape, like you've said, the adjustments will not be applied to this. So I'm just changing the size of my brush and painting around. I'm going to go all the way around and miss a little bit of hair. I'm not going to get down to single pixels and pick out hair. If I was doing an in-depth retouch and not trying to make a tutorial, I probably would select individual hairs, but I don't expect anyone to be watching an hour-long video. Oh, I went too far there, so let's see, go back to minus, just do a little erasing, go back to plus. So Photoshop did a pretty good job, and again, that's because I got a solid color background. Okay. Now, what I want to do once I've gone all the way around is I want to soften this edge a little bit so that it's believable. And I can do that with a little bit of smoothing, not much, but feather. Okay, I want that feather to be at least 1 pixel. Let me zoom in. See this hard edge here? If I feather it a pixel, look how it gets fuzzy. It gets softer. And that softness is going to make things a little more believable in the long run. Okay. So now I have my subject selected. Anything that I do is going to apply only to the subject. All right, let's do an example just so you see, here, we'll put a photo filter over a subject. See how that orange is only applying to the main subject, right? Great. Now that's not what I want to do. I actually want to change the background. So if I make a mistake like this, I use the wrong thing. See the layer mask? It has a black and white representation of what our selection is. If I right-click this and add mask to selection, it's exactly what I had before. And if I go back to select and mask, I can invert it, which takes the selection away from what was previously selected and puts it to where it wasn't. So let's hit OK. And now let's try some color adjustments. Color balance, hue and saturation. Ooh, this will be a good one. Okay, hue and saturation. So, see how I changed the color of the background? And I think this was mostly green anyway, so there you go. Or I can desaturate it. Cool. I'll turn the photo filter off. Let's get in real close. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, there we go. Great. And see how this mask is the opposite of this mask. So now I can use either of these. If I wanted to mess with the background more, I could pick this one, right click, add mask to selection, choose an adjustment layer. Let's try exposure. Can make it brighter, make it darker. Okay. Say I didn't like exposure. Again, I right click, add mask to selection. Here, just make it black and white. I've removed all the color information. Okay. So again, it's easy for Photoshop to select on a clean, plain background like this, but it can still be applied just with, you'll have to do more refinement, but it can be applied to any situation.